Hello, and thank you for tuning in, Strategy. So, today we are going to go over some things as in regard to unpaid wages. Now, we all have experienced, well, first of all, praise Father Yah. You know, I woke up with a little bit of anger this morning, and I had to pray about it. And this anger just comes from just sitting down and thinking about what's going on. The delusion that they want to give everybody is that we need to fight each other and be all upset with each other because it's something trivial. But in reality, who is really the enemy here? Okay? Unpaid wages. Well, let's think about this for a second. Now, you work for a company that brings in over billions of dollars a year. Okay? And all of a sudden, in one day, they make more than what you make a year. And you can barely afford to do anything. You can't do anything, but you have, if only you knew how much money you made that company by your hard work. Okay? It's not going to match the wage that they're paying you. And also what that company makes a year, they can most certainly afford to take care of their employees way better. It's good. The greed has gotten so bad that they don't even want to take care of their customers, because now us customers don't even want to accept that ridiculous, arrogant price that they want to have on their items. Meanwhile, their employees are very, very upset. They don't want to treat us nice because they're not getting paid well, these unpaid wages, but yet the wages that we have to take them is better than nothing. But now it's nothing now. It's legit nothing. And meanwhile, the general manager or the managers, or not even the managers, maybe even the big wig people, they get to have $12 salads every day. Meanwhile, you got to stretch $12 out at the grocery store, and you made over $1,000 in one day for this company. Whether you were just wringing stuff out or bringing it out from the back, either way, you were making all that money. Trust, because the prices are arrogant. If people are going in there still buying this stuff, well, that's because you came to work that day, and these people are not paying anything. So I really, really, really want to get down to the bottom of what Father Yah says about these people that step on others, and they step on everybody. Okay, I'm telling you, you see it all day long, every day. Mean people at the register. Know why? Because this company owes them wages, and yet they still have to work for them because the little wages that they do pay pays a little bit of the bills. But they have legit stopped the ability to pursue righteousness financially. I mean, not righteousness, happiness, I should say, financially, because they're not paying the proper wage. The scale is not balanced, and it hasn't been balanced for a long time. So these people that are on top, that are getting paid all these wages, all this nice salary to sit there and oppress and do nothing. Okay, they do nothing. The wages aren't right, nothing's right, the balancing not right. And then the greed is so bad, they're like pushing and saying, we want more sales, we want more sales. Meanwhile, they can't even pay their employees good enough to be nice to people. It's getting to that point where other people are going to stop shopping there because even the prices are arrogant. And then sooner or later, nobody's going to want to trade their money for their disgusting service and their lack of products. You want people to be nice? Well, pay people the wages that they deserve. Otherwise, they're not going to be nice to your customers, and then these customers are going to start shopping online. And then guess what? The store is going to you're going to start closing stores, or these people are going to start trying to merge with others to try to save themselves from this destruction that's coming to them, this financial destruction. And we're going to get into it right now. And it made me feel better because at the end of the day, They do need to pay. They're over here getting their tires switched, buying $700 tires, driving Mercedes, driving this, that, and the third. Meanwhile, they making sure you working and working and working and working, and you can barely buy some soap for yourself. Wow, what country are we in? I don't know. This must have been a quantum switch, because I know America, the America I know, nobody has to live like that. That's why they got people trying to come over here on an illegal note, on some dream that they think exists. But as far as I'm concerned, there must have been some quantum switch, because nobody's getting paid the wages that they should be getting paid over here. Where did they hear that? Where did they hear that? Maybe some companies are out there, and good for them. They will be blessed. But there's going to be a big economic collapse. It's already begun. Their judgment has begun already with people having people work for nothing, and they can't afford to take care of their employees, to the point where the employees will be extremely nice to people and make people come back. There's enough people. If they would take down their prices, there would be enough people, and stop being so greedy. There would be enough people to say, "Oh yeah, go over here. The employees are nice, and they're just fully staffed, fully stocked. They're always willing to help." And that's the type of place that people want to go to. Otherwise, you might as well just go online, because at the end of the day, these people are not paying enough, and they're actually telling people to go home because they don't want to pay them. Meanwhile, they're just like, "Oh, I can't go home," but they want more money in their pocket. They need winter tires. Okay. And then get mad at you when you call out of work and you don't have transportation in the snow. Okay. So I had to get that out. Okay, so Leviticus chapter 19, verse 13. And we are going to go into the New Testament as well. We're just going to start with the First Testament. You must not defraud your fellow man. You must not rob. You should not withhold the wages of a hired worker all night until morning. Now, I don't want to hear that the First Testament isn't valid anymore. It's still in here. I'm still reading it. And this is still how God feels about things. He don't change. We know that he don't change. So at the end of the day, he doesn't like how these companies have the banks hold our money for a whole week. Meanwhile, we need things during the week. Wouldn't it be kind of nice to have an option to get paid by the day? That way, less taxes will get taken out each time, you know? That way, whatever you need for that day is fine. Some people like to get paid at the end of the week, so that way they have the discipline to hold on to their money. That's great. And this is a country that should be a country of choice, and we should have the choice to collect our wages after we work. If we need something, and be like, "Oh dang, I'm running out of deodorant and I don't get paid till Thursday. Man, let me see if I can just get my wage for the day, so that way I can run and get my deodorant." You know how many people would be helped out by that? You know how many people would be happier to have the choice to collect their wages that day? You know how many people would be nicer going to work, knowing that you fit to get paid that day? You have the option to get paid every day. See? And it's the First Testament here. This is the First Testament. But can you imagine a world? Imagine a country where they gave you the option of not holding your wages? Because they're not supposed to be holding our wages, even the little wages that we're getting. If you need something, you'll be able to get it. Okay, so now we're going to flip over to the book of Jeremiah. Okay, and we're going to go to Jeremiah chapter 20, chapter 22, chapter 22, verse 13. Okay. Woe to the one who builds his house without righteousness and his upper rooms without justice, who makes his fellow man serve him for nothing, whose wages he refuses to pay. Okay? You got owners having rock gardens and pools and everything else, and meanwhile, some of their employees don't even have a place to live. Can't even afford the rent in which they work, where they work at, where they live at. Okay? Father Yah says, woe to those that do that and cause that to happen. Woe to them, because at the end of the day, when people need stuff and they cry out to Father Yah, Father Yah gonna hold that person that caused that struggle on that person guilty for that. Okay? All right? And we will go over that too, because I have that here. Because they shouldn't be holding our wages. That's one. Okay? Woe to them for not paying the correct wages. Meanwhile, they building their houses and renovating their houses, paying people to move trees out of the way and all this other stuff. Let me tell you, people are living like this. If a tree fall in their yard, they don't have the money to get it taken out because of the lack, because of the wage that they're getting. They're not getting paid. Okay. So Deuteronomy chapter 24, verse 14 and 15. You must not defraud a hired worker who is in need and poor, whether one of your brothers or a foreign resident in your land within your cities. You should give him his wages that very day before the sun sets, because he is in need of his life. And he is in need, and his life depends on his wages. Otherwise, he will cry out to Yahweh against you, and you will be guilty of sin. Know how many companies are guilty of this sin right here? It's probably just about darn near all of them. They're all going to go down. That's what's going to happen. It's going to happen. Do not defraud a hired worker. You know how many people they have defrauded? Think about these numbers. How much money does your company that you work for bring in? How much production approximately do you produce each day? And what are they paying you? You will find out that it's nothing. It is nothing. And when you cry out to God about the things that you need, he will hold them responsible for it, because he knows that his life depends on his wages. We just read it. And they know that too. And if they want to make your life hard on purpose, they try to cut your wages, or they try to give you even less than what they're even giving you. You must not defraud a hired worker who is in need and poor. Oh my goodness. That's why all these places are closing down, y'all. That's why Nordstrom, Macy's, some are Target, they all closing down, because I bet you they don't pay good money to everybody. They defraud some people and lift up others. Well, the ones that are lifted up, you're gonna get taken right down by Father Yah. Praise God. That is your future. Woe to you. Woe to you that grease the wheels of your chariots off of the hard work, the sweat and malter that we do every day for y'all. Every day. Every single day. And now, I just want to say that a lot of people are tired of it. I'm one of the people that is tired of the injustice that's going on here. And I had to say it. And the last one that I really want to get into is in the book of James. And, I could go off a bit about, different things, because I just feel very strongly about things, that's all. And this is one of the things I feel strongly about. But this is to the rich people, okay? Because there's no more middle class. There's just rich and poor, okay? You're doing well. You don't have to worry about hunger and all that other stuff and all that. Y'all know the ones I'm talking about. The ones that are getting paid well and they're actually happy to come to work. Of course, they're going to be smiling. You want me to smile even though you're paying me these pennies that mean nothing? Meanwhile, the prices are high. You make more money than what I make in a year, and you can't, and I can't even, and then you're holding my wages for a week. Some people hold them for up to 2 weeks. James chapter 5. Come now, you rich men, weep and wail over the miseries that are coming upon you. Your riches have rotted, and your clothing has become moth eaten. Your gold and silver have rusted away, and their rust will be a witness against you and will consume your flesh. What you have stored up like a fire what you have stored up will be like a fire in the last days. Look, the wages you have withheld from the workers who harvested your fields keep crying out, and the cries for help of the reapers have reached the ears of Yahweh of armies. You have lived in luxury and for self-gratification on the earth. You have fattened your hearts on the day of slaughter. Okay? Now this is metaphorical, all right? We can't even have, these companies can't even help with the medical insurance. Like these rich men, they're going to weep and they're going to wail over their companies falling. Their riches have rotted. That means nobody wants their products anymore. We can get them cheaper. And we don't have to drive in traffic, hurting the planet. We don't have to worry about your mean cashiers that you're not paying. We don't have to worry about trying to get help in the store, trying to find an item and then catching an attitude by somebody that's not getting paid well. Meanwhile, the company's telling them to be nice. They don't want to be nice. Meanwhile, they're not even getting paid until Friday or Thursday. Withholding wages every day. They can't even get what they need. Okay, so people are angry. So how about we not spend our money? And the prices are high. They're never in stock because they're only scheduling one person to do a 3-person job. Okay, so now they're not in stock. They don't want to hire security. People are walking out with things. So that's the prices have to go up because of shrink. Well, screw that. We'll order it online so that way there is no shrink online. We getting the prices free shipping, and we don't have to worry about your underpaid, you guys not paying your employees. Meanwhile, you grease the wheels of your chariots off of the hard work and martyr of the people. And that's why the companies are closing down. Nordstrom, Target, all these arrogant companies that think that they can start highway robbing people. No, can't do that no more because everybody's in debt and we don't have time for that. And we don't have time to be dealing with your horrible cashiers and your horrible service. Know why it's horrible service, horrible cashiers? Because it's horrible pay. And nobody can live off of the pay y'all paying. Meanwhile, we see y'all in your nice cars that you get to park near the store and everything, and you're always dressed all nice in the nice stuff, and we can barely afford to clothe our children. Wow. So when we call out to Father God, he hears that. He gonna hear y'all. He's gonna shut y'all down. Nobody's gonna want your product no more. Look at what's going on. This is an economic apocalypse happening right in front of our eyes, but also a resurrection because now more manufacturing jobs are coming back here, and they actually pay pretty good. So let it all go down to the internet if they're not just. Let the ones that are just still stay in business. Okay? That's how I feel about it. They ain't paying you nothing. They holding our wages every single time. Just know that judgment is coming for them. I've already read it. Rich man, the judgment's coming for you. You guys are the enemies. You guys are the enemies. We're not fighting with each other anymore. You guys are our enemies. You guys are stopping us from pursuing the type of the happiness that we have the right to pursue. Somebody making only $7.50 an hour and has a child and it can't even afford nothing. Have to pay the housing authority 30% of the income because the manager doesn't even knows that the wages are this woman's life, telling her to go home. This is a video I saw on CNN. Not that they're real, but at the same time, that was a real story. That was an American story. Another American story pushing this lady out. Once a middle class neighborhood, now bankers and doctors are living in her neighborhood, and the taxes and the value of her house is just too high. She can't do it no more. Another American. This has got to stop. I don't know much about politics, but I do know a lot about the Bible. And I'm going to continue to keep praying. I know a lot about it. And I'm going to continue to keep praying of the fall of the rich man. We don't want your expensive things anymore. We have our bills to pay. We don't want your expensive things, and we don't want to deal with your underpaid employees anymore. Underpaid, mean employees anymore. We don't want to hurt the earth anymore, wasting our gas too. Just to be over there to get treated like a thief or get treated bad. That's why online sales are the future. They're the future. And if these companies were smart, they get rid of their greed now and start paying these wages and get right with God. And if not right with God, would at least right with their employees, because we know what they're doing isn't right. I'm going to continue to pray for their fall, because it just ain't right. All of us should be living nicely the way they're balling. All of us should be living nicely, like just at least decent, But they're making sure that we're living in the gutters. Why? When things are supposed to be completely different, even constitutionally.